Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be looking at Anno 2070. I had a commenter that was interested in seeing me do, which was it, Anno 1701, I think was the one. There's been quite a few Anno games, so I get a bit confused with the dates. However, it's one of them that I just don't have at the minute. However, I have direct access to 2070 because it's one of my favourites. So I thought I'd show this just as a bit of a medium ground, just so people are getting to see what they want to see. And also, I just generally love the game. I mean, when I first bought this game, I think I played it for like 14 straight hours. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a continuous game, rather than some of these world events, because they're more like scenarios, so you build up so much and then it kind of stops. I generally can't remember how to play this game, so you're going to have to excuse me, but I am going to put it on easy for now. Maybe if this series, like, people really want to see it, and I'll get a little bit more back into it so I remember what the hell I'm doing, then I'll go on to a harder difficulty if that's what people want to see. So, that's what we're going to do. I'll also show you, if you want to see it, a world that I did before. Right, briefly to explain this, this game isn't like your standard like city building where you just gather resources and gather as much money as you can and all that kind of stuff and everyone's happy. This one you've also got to be eco-friendly. So, if you're too industrious, you start to destroy the land. So therefore your food starts to get polluted, and the waters get polluted, and all this kind of stuff, and it really badly affects your people's happiness. So it's this really dangerous game of balance. So, I think I'll do Eden, because I generally try and go for a more eco-friendly kind of thing. Try to, you know. Sometimes it gets very hard between keeping everyone happy and the ecosystem being okay. I mean, I'll show you on my other world. Maybe at the end of the video I'll just quickly load up the save so you can generally see how my old one looked. It wasn't so bad because you can build certain buildings which produce power and all different kinds of things, but also help the ecosystem. So like, rather than having like massive power plants and nuclear plants and all this kind of stuff, you can have like hydro dams, but you have to research them first. So you have to go through this bad stuff to get to the better stuff, if that makes any sense. So there's this constant balance of like, oh, well, if I can just put this in for now and then I can start to repair the area and all this kind of stuff. So this is our starting area. So let's see if I can remember what I'm doing. Right, the one thing I do remember about this game is one thing that's really good to start with is building a lot of housing at the start. So what you need to do at the start of the game is you have to build a like a town centre kind of thing. So we're going to try and get that as much land in it as possible. Hang on, zoom out so I can see this a little bit better. Put it out there, then I can have a bit of industry down here. Yeah, let's put it quite far back then. Put it about, we want as much green in it as possible. There we go. Right there. Now, you get houses. These need to be connected directly to this. So, a good idea to do is build massive blocks of them. So, let me see if I can remember how. So what you want to be doing.
Communication systems online.
Yeah, thanks for that, but I'm trying to do stuff over here. Just wait. Eve is awaiting my instructions. Well, just wait a little longer, because I'm trying to build. So, you'll now start to see all these people are starting to appear. Ooh. I can't remember the controls all that well. It's mostly mouse driven. I'm trying to use WAS and D to move around, and it's just mouse. So, yeah, basically at the start, the hardest thing to get at the start is money. So it's a very good idea, I've always found anyway, to start building up population as fast as you can. See, at the minute we're on -10 income. But we've got quite a few people.
Warning. Need for community not met.
Right, they demand a road connection, so they're not happy because we haven't got a road. A depot, right, road. There was a way to do this faster than what I'm doing now, and I can't remember it for the life of me. Right, so they should start to get a bit happier now because they've now got a road. Now we want to build a depot.
What can I do for you?
No, I keep pressing the thing to jump to there, and I don't want to jump to there yet. We need something to bring us in cargo. So, expands the construction area available for production plants, sends out a transport unit to pick up merchandise. I can't remember if you stick these on here or if you stick that elsewhere. Tell you what we'll do for now. We'll build a road between that. So if we build a road straight up there, then bring the road down here, across here, something like that anyway. So we've got a road there, and then if we put a depot this side of the town hall, I can't remember if the depot has to be within a certain range of them or not. Tell you what, for now we'll stick it right there. No, sorry, depots where they drop goods off, I remember now. So any industry in the area drops everything off to there. Right, now what we also want... Right, looks like we've still got some stuff reserved. So, I'm trying... Bear with me, I know it's probably a bit frustrating for some of you watching this. Right, we want a fishery, we need to get fish coming in. So, we'll build a few fishing depots to go out there and do that. We want a wind park. Give all these people power. Again, this is another thing you also need to remember. That radius around it, if you overlap another wind turbine with that, it reduces its effectiveness. So you want to spread these up as much as possible. So that's why I'm going to stick this one. It's also the more Greenland it's got, the better it does. So, but I don't want to use it too much space yet, so I'm going to put this one right down near the start. Because then if I wanted to, you see, I can move one up just outside of the circle there. And like say I could stick it there. Well, I'd probably take it back a little bit to try and just link them up like that. That's the most cost effective. So, that's one to try anyway. Right, so now we've got fish coming in, which in fact I'll just quickly connect them to a road.
Your assignment?
Oh, right, I'm going to just take my hand off the keyboard now, because I keep pressing things that I'm not supposed to. Right, so we're just going to pull that over there, so that's connected to a road. And we're just going to pull that there, so that's connected to a road now. So now you can see all these little industry vehicles now going and picking everything up. We do have a flying cargo as well, which can fly things around, sort of to pick stuff that's offshore and things like this. So, it's quite versatile. The game starts to look really beautiful once you get into it. So, we've got fish, building modules. Right, we want to make a tea plantation, that'll keep people happy. We'll build that quite near the front as well. Okay. Right, so for that I need to make a extraction area. Right, people won't like this being near to them. So, if our city centre's there, could we get a little bit of industry over here maybe? Let me just remember if you can build roads straight away across. Will these auto bridge? Yes, they will. Right, so if we build a bath salt thing there, now build a road to connect it across there. Now, with these, you have to actually place farms. So with this I'll just auto place, so there we go, it's now placed 2 farms. And now that will now start working. So again, the same with this one, I need to auto plant tea farms. So we'll have one there, and one there. So they're now that's now gonna be producing tea. Again, I need to connect that to a road, like that. So these are all now nice and connected. Now with what that's producing, that's actually so we can produce this. So we need to build a smelter so we can produce these little boxes. So we'll build that right here, I think. Does that need anything to work? Yeah, so now what's going to happen now is this will now automatically set up a trade route. So this is going to start producing the granules, which will either get shipped directly to the smelter or it'll get shipped directly to the depot, which will then in turn get pulled over here. So you should start to see, as this is produced, see it's produced one so far. I can get a truck to go and instantly collect them, but at the minute there's probably just no point. So you'll now start to see all these little industry vehicles going round and just picking everything up. So we're making a decent start. We're now profitable, which is always good. So at the minute these are classed as eco workers, so they're just like the low populace. As they start to get like more civilised, the housing will become bigger and therefore offers more population, to the point where eventually you've got like big skyscrapers and stuff. It's pretty cool. As I say, I will show most of you just before we end the video. I'll show you how it can eventually look, and then you always can tell me if you actually want to see more of this game, or if it's not for you, because there's a fair few games quite similar to this on my channel at the minute, so I don't know if people are going to want to see this or not. So yeah, that's the start of really basic industry at the minute. So I think the next thing we want to be concentrating on now is getting more populace up again. So what we want to be doing is just basically doubling the populace where we can. Insufficient building material. Right, so I actually need to create building material. However, we currently can't do that, but we can. I will actually allow myself to click the keyboard now. We can request a delivery of this for 5,000 credits. So yes, we want 40 of those. So they should now be on their way to me. So either a boat will go and pick them up. There you go, here's our current stocks at the minute. So we're making a bit of tea. We've made our first building module. So we're doing pretty well. Do these use building modules? Yeah, so it's every 2 of these building modules builds a house. So it may be worth us actually building a few more of these to increase production of it, because at the minute this is, well, I don't know, it is producing, but see, like, here you go, this is the current productivity. So obviously this can get better.
Reporting delivery of ordered goods.
Right, thank you. So they've done that. That's very nice of you. So yeah, I'm thinking we need to get more of these built. So if we make more of these where we can, there we go. So this one's now got 5 out. So there you go. This thing's production's now gone through the roof. That's now, instead of having 2, I've just tripled the amount that one building's building. So you can overbuild, whereas you haven't got to just say, oh, this building can only produce X amount. You can get it up as long as it's got the land. At the minute I currently don't have access to this land, but when I do, I can technically build more of these all the way around it. It's just obviously with doing this, it means putting roads to it are a bit difficult, but I'll just build around the side then. So right, our money's getting a lot better at the minute. We want it a lot higher than that though, to be quite honest. Now that we've tripled that, we may actually be able to at least double the smelting as well. So that might be worth considering. If we were to put another one, I can't remember how you rotate. There we go. If we put that there, I can't remember if putting them 2 together is a problem or not. But they're now, hopefully, anyway, this will now be starting to produce more of this. That's the hope, at the very least. Right, we now can afford to build 2 more. Can we order more of those? Where's the thing gone?
All systems online.
Not yet, we can't. We've got to wait 20 minutes before we could. So the video won't even be going on that long, so we won't be doing that. I probably should have ordered them instead of them building things. I got confused as to which one I was needed, but to be fair, they're quite annoying to get later on, so. Right, this is the basic screen for basically telling you what their needs are. So at the minute,
Isn't it gorgeous here?
they
Oh,
want to be
life
happy
so good.
is fish. That's it. Which they've got. So you can see here, everything's full. They're loving the community because they've got a nice big community. They've got all the tea they can drink, all the fish they can eat. So they're pretty chuffed. As soon as we get activity though, which it says here, we need 144 eco workers before we can unlock that, and then we can build that little theatre thing. The other thing that I've totally forgot to do, I need to select all these houses. I need to put the bracket up for them, because that gives me an extra bit of tax, but you see it's still green. That still keeps them happy. So they're still happy, but they're now paying me more. So that was another trick I was given a long time ago. So again, that should increase our money by a little bit more now. See, tax income now is 149, but our building and maintenance is only minus 82. So at least we're now making a profit. Which, that's what it's all about. It's keeping this balance. Right, just to explain some of the other things that are on here, just while we try and gather up a few more of these building modules. That here's how much power we're currently using. So at the minute we've got a nice surplus of energy. Again, all this kind of stuff that you get surplus of, you can start to sell and ship it, because this entire game eventually becomes about trade. So it's like, down here on the minimap, all this blue, this is undiscovered land. So there'll be these little islands everywhere, and there'll be other civilizations and things like that as well. So the best thing to do, you want to be doing is racing to these other islands where you can, claiming them, and then set a single island for a purpose. So like, because this will be my mainland, this will be where most of my people are. But like, I want to get like another island and put all my industry on it. So you can basically, that island over there can go to hell, because it's just industry. Pollution doesn't matter. So, but then the people over here don't get the pollution problems, so they're a bit more happy. So it's, but you can't do that on like, if you had an island that was producing food for your community. So it's a, again, it's a constant balance and messing with things. So we'll have to see how that gets on. Well, why did you just bleep? New buildings are ready for construction. They're not.
Saved.
Oh, it's because it was saving the game. Okay. Right, how many are we doing? Right, we're on 10 now, so we should be able to build another, what, 5 buildings? Something like that. Obviously, once you get bigger populaces, this becomes somewhat more manageable. At the minute, it's nice and slow at the start. And then all of a sudden, it can get out of control pretty quickly. So, we'll just drag 5 straight up there, so we haven't got to bother building a road. There we go. So there they are. And immediately they're happy because we've just got so much fish. See them in here? That's, the storage is filling up. You know, we're actually struggling to get through it for many people. However, tea, not so good. So maybe might be worth just sticking an extra couple of tea fields on there. Like that. You know. They are working. I thought there was a brief second then with it. Oh no, they are. It's just taking a little while for them to get started. There we go. You can see the tea starting to form on there now. On this one at least. There we go. The other's catching up. This one's taking a little while. So how's this one producing now? Is it producing good? That one's got... We still don't seem to be quite getting it right. I'm probably missing something. This is probably more my fault, because I know there is a really good way of setting up the start. Tell you what we'll do. I'll actually show you now my other world, because this is probably all I'm going to really be able to do for today, because it's constantly waiting on this. So if I just save this game, I'll just save that as LugdunonTG vid. There we go, something like that. Okay. So let that save, and now I'll show you one of my old saves. So it should be that one, and you'll see a little bit more of the kind of how crazy this can start to get. We will see though. We will see. It's probably not going to be as impressive as I remember it, but I think I spent about 30 hours or something on this save. Maybe not quite that much, but not far off. But I was pretty pleased with this one. This one's been through absolute hell. So here's where it originally would have started, so this is what we would have just seen. And I mean, here's where my very first city centre was. You can see these lovely buildings, they've all got cars, and here's all millions of tea fields. Most of these are turned off because I just hardly need them anymore, or they're just filled up. Yeah, these ones are completely full, and they've maxed out production as well. So you got all that. We've got a massive dam here that's harnessing the hydroelectricity, which is what I was talking about. So you can see I've got 524 excess energy, and I'm on a 94 plus eco rating, so everything's really healthy. Which, if you look on the tea farms, that's what eco does. It increases the production rate. So this is getting, instead of having 100% production, it's got 129% production. So it's just producing everything faster. Here's some of the other things that you get. Just all these major buildings. Everything just keeping people happy. Wind farms all over the place. Weather balloons. Again, just to increase your eco rating. So this is this is what my first island was. What we just saw. All the yellow on the map is me. So like I've got another island over here, which is a food production island. So this is producing wheat and crops and all kinds of things. And then these big cargo ships are shipping them back to my mainland. I've got another one over here which is producing livestock, so this is another one that's got a nice, you see here it's got the plus 40 eco balance on this one, but I only just about keep these level on power because you don't want to burn over much because you want to be still making profits. So as you can see at the minute my profits are a little bit everywhere because it's based on what's producing and what isn't. So, and over here I've got another mixed food one because I've got such a big population. It's a bit difficult feeding them all. So this one's a mixture of livestock and crops, but it's still got space for me to, build more. Then we've got, now this is the cool one, so I'll come back and show you that in a minute. This is another island I've got. This is, this one's a bit of a mixed bag, because it's mostly producing food. So you've got a few animals up here and here, and it's producing cocoa stuff, but down here is a bit industrious, because it's also got a military area on it, so you can build helicopters, because there was a guy, if I remember right, in this game who was getting a little bit fiery, which I think that's his base there. So I'd built some helicopters and stuff just to defend myself and basically put him off, because I control most of the islands, because Green was my ally, because she's an eco warrior, and because I was eco friendly she was just like, yeah, you're my hero, and loved me to bits. So yeah, that's good way to have. But this one's the interesting one. And if I zoom in, oh yeah, underwater base. So right, let's see if I can remember what's going on here. Right, one's pumping oil, which is kind of obvious, but a lot of these are making like seaweed foods and all this kind of stuff, so it's like another renewable food source which doesn't affect your land. So most of this is actually producing food for your people. So if I go back to my mainland a minute, if we go to one of these really big fancy houses like this one, these are all their needs. So instead of just wanting fish, which they're not really that interested in now, they also want sushi, and then they want things like healthy food, so it's like pasta dishes and all this kind of stuff. Whereas, and then other times, like if you go to the slightly lower class ones, right, so there's the really low ones like we had in the original save. There's one that's slightly higher, so there they want a bit more healthy food and fish. Then you get people that want like fatty foods and all this kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. Oh, that's a lab. We can't really do much with that. Little thermal power plant. But yeah, so this is all the kind of stuff you can eventually start to do. But I mean, this is one of the things that helped me a lot, because it just produces so much power, and it gives me like plus on eco rating as well. Here we go. It gave me, oh no, sorry, it gave me -10 on eco rating, which that is pretty much nothing, by the way, the latest stuff, but 500 power. So that's just immense power. I just have no need for it, which also therefore meant I could delete loads of like the factories and things like that. So like technically speaking, that thermal power station I've got there, I could get rid of that because it's producing me 35 power that I just don't need, and costing me 65. So I could technically get that to get a bit more profit, but it doesn't actually do anything for the economy. So for the eco rating, so it's not really that worth it in some senses. Whereas something like I'm trying to think what I've actually got that wasn't actually eco-friendly. Oh, that's one thing I should probably mention. As your civilization gets bigger, if any of you ever played SimCity, you'll know things like that, but crime starts to increase. So these people start to get more so like here, where you've got like the slightly lower class people, you get more chance of crime. And the more posh people just don't like it at all, and they start to leave and all kinds of stuff, and then that's when your profits start to plummet and you go out of business. So yeah, that's a quick look at Anno. I say quick, it's been quite a while probably, but yeah, if you want to see more, I'll do more, and we'll try and build something like this on a series or something like that. So you let me know what you think. So leave me a like if you enjoyed the video, drop a comment and tell me what you think, if you want me to see more, if you don't, you know, or if you're just like, yeah, it's a good game, but I'm not going to be watching it, so, you know, it's entirely up to yourselves. Yeah, and subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.